So it's the summer of 1984. I'm 19 years old, and I'm riveted in front of the television. I'm watching the 1984 Olympic Games that were in Los Angeles that year. I'd stood there in front of the TV, and I said, that's what I want to do. I want to be the best female cyclist in the world. If I wanted to be a world-class cyclist, I needed to race with some people that were really going to push me. So I started racing, so I started training with these guys, and they would beat me up pretty good. And they beat me up until they couldn't. And then within 2 years' time, somebody else was offering the beatings. So here I am at the Women's Tour de France, this 10-day stage race in and out of the Pyrenees of France. And as I climbed and I pushed myself, I was experiencing something that I had never experienced before. My vision was blurring. What I didn't realize is I had been moving to the right-hand side of the road, and that's when I felt my tires hit the gravel and my wheels slide out from underneath me, and I found myself crashing to the ground. What I didn't know then, that I now know, is I rode my bike off one road to begin a journey on a new road. And that new road would be a life with multiple sclerosis. I wasn't used to living like this. I was always fighting for something. And now I was fighting against, and it wasn't working. Within a year and a half's time of being one of the best cyclists in the world, I couldn't walk unaided. I needed the assistance of a cane and usually somebody's shoulder as well, just to walk. But it was at that point I made the most powerful decision of my life. And that was to live my life, to stop pushing MS away and stop looking in the rearview mirror hoping to get what I had back. You know, one of the things after I made this powerful decision to just work with what it is I had to work with and see if I could grow that instead of wishing that everything would just go away, to stop trying to fix and begin to live. And I thought I just wanted to walk down to the lake and go for a little walk. And I left the cane in the car and I walked down to the lake. And my vision is beginning to blur some, and my leg is getting really heavy underneath me. And I sit down on a park bench. So I sat there on that park bench pretty overwhelmed with what had happened to my life in such a short amount of time. And then I remembered my commitment. And I had a thought that was so powerful, I don't know if I thought it or it thought me. The thought was, focus on what you can see and not on what you can't. And I knew I had a choice to get up and move or to sit there and overwhelm. And I'm really glad I got up and I chose to move 25 yards to the next bench, sit, and rest. As I continued to learn and grow, one of the things I decided to do was go to graduate school to flush out the science of all the things that were helping me get better and better. And after I graduated, I established my business. And one of the things that I began to notice and become aware of was that September 24th would roll around and I always feel kind of blue. The day I was diagnosed. It was a bummer day. And I realized September 24th is just the day I'm giving a lot of power to. Yes, something pretty awful happened. But it's just a date, and I wanted to take my power back. So I thought, well, what will I do to do that? And I thought, I'm going to use September 24th now as a day I celebrate life. And I thought to myself, what will I do? I really love ritual, and I thought, I really want to ground this as something cool. And so I thought, And then I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt what I wanted to do, and that was to go bungee jumping. So 12 years into my diagnosis, I did race my bicycle again. And for the last 14 years, while fostering my business, I've been continuing to do this biking thing at all sorts of levels. It's been amazing. But I know for sure if I didn't lean in and address the fears, to identify what was important to me, what it is that I wanted, what it is I wanted to do, and to take action, I wouldn't know. And of course, to celebrate life. I wouldn't know the success that I've had. So what's your next bench? How far will you stretch? How much courage will you put behind your actions? What will you do to expand your possibilities? How will you move into your extraordinary? Thank you. Thank you.